Hello everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel, and welcome to, I'm gonna call it Vlogmas Day 5. I am behind, I didn't post yesterday, but I'm still gonna bring you 24 videos, so I'm still gonna do Vlogmas Day 5 rather than skipping it. So I do hope you're all well, and again, apologies for missing yesterday's video. It was just one of those days. But today I just wanted to bring you some tips that I personally use over the whole of the winter period to stay a bit warmer without just relying on the heating at home. Now I've got my notes down here, so do excuse me if you see me glancing down, but we're gonna jump straight into it. Now I have done one of these videos before, I think I did it 2 years ago, but I'm hoping that although I've kept some of the classics in this video, I'm bringing you some new ideas as well. So first up is a draft excluder. Now these make a massive difference, and if you don't have one and you can feel a draft coming through from under the door, please get one. Make one using fabric scraps or an old jumper, sew a scarf together and stuff it. Anything that you can think of to do to create a draft excluder, and I promise you, you will feel a massive, massive difference. Now that's quite a simple one. Next up is another simple one, and it's just a really easy purchase to make. You can get them on Amazon, but it's the foil that goes behind your radiators just to bounce that heat back out. So rather than being absorbed into the wall behind it, it reflects that heat back from the radiator and pushes it forward again into the room. Now I don't have these yet. I was planning on getting them ready for the video, but I haven't got around to purchasing them yet. I'm waiting until I've got a couple of bits in my basket and I'll order everything at the same time to save deliveries. But yeah, I definitely am getting them. I only have 2 radiators in this place because it's a really small area, but they are big radiators, and so I am going to be buying that foil to just pop behind them and just make maximum use of the heat when I do have the central heating on. Now, similarly, another one, and actually when I do the tour of my flat, you will see that I don't necessarily do this. However, there is a reason. So it's moving the furniture from being in front of the radiators. And I know some layouts dictate, like mine does in my bedroom, the layout dictates that I must have my bed in front of the radiator. Otherwise, there's nowhere else to put my bed in the room. It literally doesn't fit anywhere else. It is a tiny bedroom. However, it's the side of the bed that goes in front of the radiator, not the headboard. So actually, because the heat comes up from the radiator, it's not being absorbed too much by the bed. It's only a very, very small amount that is in front of that radiator. So it's not just necessarily about rearranging your whole room just so that the radiator is completely clear. It's just about maybe pulling that furniture slightly away from the radiator to improve that circulation, popping that foil behind it to reflect that heat better, or if you can, just swap one piece of furniture for another. If there's a smaller piece of furniture that you can put in front of the radiator instead of something quite high, then that may utilise that heat a little bit more and help it to just circulate around the room much easier. Now another one is thermal blinds and curtains, and again I was going to buy those for this property and I haven't yet, only because I don't know whether I'm going to be selling it or not. We'll see. But yeah, they make an absolutely massive difference. My front door is in my living room, as actually is my back door. They're both in the living room. And I know for a fact if I had thermal curtains up at those and at the window, because I can feel the draft from them when I'm sat on the sofa, then that would make a massive difference for keeping the heat in. And similarly in summer, actually, it can help to keep the heat out and keep your property cooler. But yeah, that's definitely a good one, and it is worth investing in those heavier curtains that do have that really thick fabric that is actually going to keep the heat in. Now another one, and a big one for me, something that I never go without, is my slippers. They are filthy. I've been grouting my kitchen with black grout, so there's black dust all over the floor in here. So they need a wash. However, it is my slippers. So I have slippers everywhere I go. I have a pair at my sister's that I keep there all the time, and I have a pair at my partner's house that I keep there all the time, because it makes a huge amount of difference when you're walking around a house to how cold you feel, as to whether you've got something on your feet or not. And something that my granddad always used to say was, get something on your feet, my girl. And it was always so important for keeping warm, is keeping your slippers on. Now, these slippers aren't slipper boots or anything, they're kind of just like sliders, but they are fluffy, and yeah, they do make a huge difference. I've got hard floor throughout in here. I've got a couple of rugs and things, but it does make a massive difference as to whether you are standing on a cold surface or on slippers. Oh, they just make the world of difference. So if you don't have a pair of slippers, please invest, because I promise you, you will feel warmer instantly just by wearing a pair of slippers. It's that simple. Similarly, on the topic of keeping your person warm rather than trying to heat the whole property, is hot water bottles. I have hot water bottles coming out of my ears. I have so many of them and I absolutely love them. And one of the things that I've actually asked for Christmas is one of the kind of 2-foot hot water bottles. Now I have a live hot water bottle that is usually somewhere nearby, and here's my personal hot water bottle, who absolutely hates me by the looks of it. Are you okay, kid? Did I wake you up? I'm sorry. But yeah, so he is always toasty and warm. But if you don't have a Bruno, then do grab yourself a hot water bottle. I usually have both of them at the same time, and he loves to snuggle up to a hot water bottle, though he'll never admit it. But yeah, hot water bottles are an absolute game changer. I very often have one if I'm sat on the sofa working, because it just helps to keep you nice and toasty and warm when you're not mobile. Because if you're not moving around at home, you know, maybe watching a film of an evening, or working like I am, even at your desk, a hot water bottle makes the world of difference. And I actually even used to have one when I used to work in the office full time. For my job, I would even have a hot water bottle at work, because you could guarantee somebody would put the aircon on even in the middle of January. So yeah, so hot water bottles and blankets. I mean, needless to say, I think I have 5 on my sofa. I have 1 on my bed, 2 on my bed actually, and I have them in my Ottoman stores as well. So I just have blankets everywhere, not only because they're easy to keep the furniture cleaner when you have dogs, but also because you can just whip a blanket off and snuggle up and it will soon make you toasty warm. And then on the note of blankets is heated blankets. Now I have one on my bed. Honestly, I am such a cold mortal. I hate being cold and I will do anything to keep warm, which is why I wanted to bring you guys this video, because it's just something, if I can find a hack to be warmer, I will find it. But yeah, so heated blankets, and I have one with a timer on it that I can set the time to on an app, so that if I'm falling asleep of an evening, I can turn the heated blanket on before I get into bed, so it's nice and toasty warm when I get in there. I know some people hate getting into a hot bed. Personally, I love it. And then I set my little timer so that it's usually on for maybe an hour, so that I can watch a bit of TV before I fall asleep, and it keeps me nice and toasty and warm whilst I'm drifting off, and then it shuts itself off so that I don't wake up feeling like a roast turkey. So that was a really quick run through of all of my tips to keep nice and warm without having to crank the heating up to 30. I hope that you found something useful in that video and something that you can take away and see if it can make a difference in keeping you nice and toasty and warm during the winter. So thank you ever so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one, which will be Vlogmas day 6. Take care until then. Bye bye.